Have you ever opened your Wi-Fi settings and found not one network, but three? Smith Family Wi-Fi, Smith Family Wi-Fi 5G, and Smith Family Wi-Fi 6G. For a moment, you wonder if your router has secretly started cloning itself. Naturally, you connect to whichever one has the strongest signal and hope for the best. But what do those numbers actually mean? Is 5 GHz simply twice as good as 2.4 GHz? Is 6 GHz the deluxe, premium, extra crispy version? Or did router manufacturers just decide bigger numbers sound more impressive? After all, that's worked for potato chips. As it turns out, the truth is much more interesting. Those numbers aren't versions of Wi-Fi at all. They're different radio frequencies, and each one has its own strengths, weaknesses, and personality. Choosing the wrong one can make your internet slower than it needs to be. Welcome to Past in Plain Sight. Today, we're uncovering the surprising reason Wi-Fi networks have 2.4 GHz, 5 GHz, and now even 6 GHz. We first have to remember that Wi-Fi is actually radio to understand why it has those frequencies. Yes, the same basic science that lets radio stations play music also lets your phone watch cat videos at 2 in the morning. The only difference is the frequency. Radio waves come in many different frequencies, and each behaves a little differently. Some travel very long distances. Some carry huge amounts of information. Some can pass through walls better than others. It's a bit like choosing a road. One road is long and winding. Another is a fast highway. Another is a brand new express lane with hardly any traffic. Wi-Fi works exactly the same way. Let's start with the oldest member of the family, 2.4 GHz. This frequency has been around for decades. It deserves a little respect. Without it, many of us would still be dragging Ethernet cables through our living rooms like spaghetti. The biggest advantage of 2.4 GHz is distance. Its radio waves travel farther than the higher frequencies and do a much better job of passing through walls, doors, and furniture. Imagine yelling across your house. Your voice might still be heard from another room. That's 2.4 GHz. It's strong, reliable, a little old-fashioned, but still getting the job done. Unfortunately, everyone else had the same idea. Because 2.4 GHz has existed for so long, it's incredibly crowded. Your neighbors use it. Baby monitors use it. Wireless keyboards. Bluetooth devices. Some security cameras. Garage door openers. Microwave ovens. Every time you heat yesterday's pizza, it's basically throwing a tiny radio party near your Wi-Fi frequency. No wonder your internet occasionally seems confused. Engineers eventually realized they needed another lane on the highway. So along came 5 GHz. Think of 5 GHz as the sports car of Wi-Fi. It's much faster. It carries more data. And because it has more available channels, there's usually far less traffic. Downloading large games, streaming 4K movies, video calls, and online gaming. 5 GHz loves all of those. There's just one catch. Higher frequency radio waves don't travel through walls nearly as well. Imagine shouting through 3 brick walls. Not easy. That's 5 GHz. It's incredibly fast as long as you're relatively close to the router. Walk to the opposite end of the house, and suddenly your phone starts behaving as though you've entered an internet-free wilderness. Then came the newest member of the family, 6 GHz. When Wi-Fi 6E arrived, engineers gained access to an entirely new section of radio spectrum. Imagine opening a brand new freeway where almost nobody is driving yet. That's 6 GHz. It's packed with wide, clean channels capable of carrying enormous amounts of data. It has less interference, lower latency, and higher speeds. It's basically first-class seating for wireless internet. Of course, there's always a trade-off. Remember how 5 GHz doesn't travel as far as 2.4 GHz? 6 GHz takes that one step further. It's even less effective at passing through walls and other obstacles. In other words, it's spectacular until you leave the room. Then it politely reminds you that physics always wins. Now you might be wondering, if 6 GHz is so fast, why not use it all the time? Because every frequency solves a different problem. If you're sitting next to your router streaming an 8K movie while downloading a massive game update, 6 GHz is fantastic. If you're relaxing in the backyard trying to watch videos through 3 walls and a refrigerator, you'll probably have a much better experience on 2.4 GHz. And if you're somewhere in between, 5 GHz often hits the sweet spot. Modern routers are actually smart enough to help with this. Many combine all 3 frequencies under a single network name. Instead of asking you to choose, the router quietly moves your device to whichever band makes the most sense. Most of the time. Occasionally, however, your phone stubbornly clings to the weaker signal like it's emotionally attached. Technology can be surprisingly sentimental. So when your phone asks whether you'd like to join the 2.4 GHz, 5 GHz, or 6 GHz network, you'll know those aren't random numbers invented to confuse everyone. They're different radio highways, each designed for a different balance of speed, range, and reliability. The trick isn't choosing the best one. It's choosing the one that's best for where you are and what you're doing. If you enjoyed this video, be sure to leave a like, subscribe to Past in Plain Sight, and join us next time as we reveal another fascinating piece of history. Thanks for watching, and we'll see you in the next one.